we're back. Happy Wednesday. It's the 23rd day of October 2019. Wake up, Wenatchee Valley. We're back in high definition and stereophonic sound here from Studio 2 in downtown Wenatchee. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host. Thanks for starting your day with us here on the NCW Life Channel. I hope you ended your day with us on Tuesday with the NCW Life Channel. We had a great volleyball game we televised last night. It was an epic match between the Moses Lake Chiefs and the Wenatchee Panthers. Went over 2 hours, went to the full 5 sets. Panthers emerged victorious, and we got highlights coming up. It was a long match, but a very exciting match at the Wenatchee High School gymnasium. So I missed game 1 of the World Series, so I taped it, and when I got home about 9:45 last night, I watched the game. So I'm going on very little sleep, but I'm here. Thanks to caffeine. You gotta like that. We got lots of sports to get to. We have some news to get to as well. Lots of news to touch on. Weather forecast, it looks just beautiful. We had a nice day yesterday. Very warm. We had 64. Very mild. Our normal high, about 57. So we finally broke past that cool pattern we've been having. Rest of this week looks really good. And then some significant wind will be coming back on Friday. A big cold front will be coming down from Canada. That means it'll have a higher alcohol content, right? No, it'll be coming down from Canada. It's going to make things very sunny for Make a Difference Day weekend, but very cool. With temperatures getting down to the overnight lows will be getting down close to freezing. Forecast details are coming up. Plus, Mike McNaughty has an opinion he'd like to share with you. We have the obscure holiday. We got some Today in History items to get to, also some celebrity birthdays, and we continue our profile of Make a Difference Day projects. We visited the Malaga Community Park. We went out there on Monday. We talked to Vicki and we talked to Herb, and we took a little tour of the Malaga Community Park. They need to spruce it up, take care of a couple of little problems. It's an all-volunteer organization. They water it on their own. They mow it on their own. It's a nice park. It's a sizable park, and I'd like you to come out and give them a hand on Saturday for Make a Difference Day. You'll have that conversation. You'll see that conversation with Vicki and Herb and myself coming up in the back half of the hour. So we got a busy show for you today on a Wednesday. Let's get to it. Let's take you around the valley with our Valley View cameras, courtesy of Localtel's Sky-Fi high-speed wireless. Once again, the cross camera gets to do the honors of batting leadoff. Sun isn't getting the job done yet. It's still a half an hour or so away. It's only come up at about 7:31 this morning. Sunset tonight, 5:59. That's right, before 6 o'clock in the evening now. That'll buy us 10 hours and 28 minutes of daylight. We're losing just about 90 seconds of daylight a day, and it starts to add up this time of the year. Once again, it's going to be a very mild and dry day today and tomorrow. Temperatures will be a little bit above normal, but then windy conditions. We come back on Friday and Saturday with a strong frontal system. It's not going to bring us any rain, but what it's really going to do is it's going to blow a lot of the leaves off the trees, I'm thinking, this weekend. But with this bright afternoon sunshine that we're going to have, it's really going to make all the colors that are so beautiful this time. They really pop down here in the Wenatchee Valley. That I'm looking forward to. So we're in for a beautiful afternoon. So good morning, Wenatchee. Good morning, East Wenatchee. Good morning, Sunny Slope. Good morning, Old Station, way out there in the distance from our cross camera. We call it that, of course. It's located adjacent to the cross on Wenatchee Heights. Camera 2, Megan gets to decide. I have to take a look and guess, and I'm guessing that's Turtle Rock looking up the Columbia River. Am I correct? I am correct. Thank you. The traffic moving smoothly on US 97A to your left. On US 97 proper up in Brewster, they had a fatality accident that really tied up traffic there. That's going to be our top news story here in just a few minutes. You can see traffic actually on both sides of the rivers. People funnel down. Most, of course, people will be funneling down here to the Wenatchee Valley proper to do their whatever it is that they do. Good morning to our friends in Arrondo Rock. Camera number 3. We say hello to Omi Gardens, the Omi Gardens camera anyway. What we're really looking at, of course, is Rocky Reach Dam, Lake Antioch. You can actually make out the Arrondo Rock area way off there in the distance. Beautiful Rocky Reach Dam, the newest, or one of the newest of the dams, of course, on the Columbia River. I don't remember when it was built. I'm told it was a pretty cool deal. It's a great dam. But of course, when they built Rocky Reach Dam, they put in a visitor center, which they didn't do for most of the other dams. So I'm glad they did that. Of course, it's going to be closed for renovations for quite some time. They're going to redo the entire visitor center there at Rocky Reach Dam. Beautiful view from our Omi Gardens camera. Turn it up the river. I like that. Camera 4, where are we off to, Megan? It's a slow dissolve to, I'm going to say, the Waterville Camera. Hey, I went 4 for 4. That so very rarely happens. We call that the Waterville Camera. It's not actually in Waterville. It's a couple of miles to the south of Waterville, but it gives us that incredible view. And again, we can move these around, so we have it pointed down towards the Columbia River. You just can't quite make out Aniat in the lower left-hand corner of your screen. Earthquake Point, though, is pretty obvious. You can't miss that. As, again, the traffic is heading on down to the good old Wenatchee Valley, US of A, and Chelan is way off there in the distance. And again, everybody's in for a very beautiful day today. No wind, lots of sunshine. I'm going to see if I can get a little golf in today. Oh, that's right, I can't. I'm working this afternoon. It was a good plan. While it lasted 6 minutes after the hour from the National Weather Service. No complaints for the next few days. As I said, it's going to be very mild and dry today. No rain at all in the forecast. Good looking day today, high of about 60, no wind. Nothing wrong with that. That 60-degree high is a little bit above normal. 39 for the overnight low with clear skies. We do it again on Thursday. A little bit cooler because the overnight low is going to be a little bit cooler on Wednesday night. So it's going to take us a little while longer on Thursday to warm up. So we're going to be 58, they think, for our afternoon high on Thursday. Just a couple of clouds on Thursday night. Nothing to worry about. 42 for the overnight low. Friday, things get a little cattywampus. Windy conditions will return Friday. In fact, it's going to be windier on Friday than it was yesterday. Quite breezy on Friday. It'll pick up in intensity in the afternoon hours. So 64, very mild. But the wind is going to be picking up really, especially on Friday afternoon. A light southwest wind in the morning, and then it's going to switch to a northwest wind. It's going to pick up to about 21 to 26 miles per hour on Friday afternoon, with gusts above 40 miles per hour at times on Friday afternoon. And it's going to be breezy on Friday night and chilly. You combine the windy conditions and the cool overnight temperatures on Friday night. The wind chill is going to make it feel real cold, so bundle up for high school football on Friday night. And that's this wind on Friday is the system that I talked about that's going to be coming in. So a strong frontal system going to bring in some very chilly air, and it starts on Saturday. Make a difference day. Again, gobs of sunshine. That's not the issue. High of about 55. Clear Saturday night, 35 for the overnight low. Sunday, about 52. Monday, this cold air is going to be hanging around for a while, 53. Sunshine on Tuesday and a high near 50. Overnight lows just about the freezing mark on Monday and Tuesday. So what's going to happen is this cold frontal system is going to come in. It's going to bring in this cold air. Then we're going to get a high pressure ridge. It's going to start building up on Sunday, and that's going to trap the cold air near the surface. So we're going to go from above normal, especially on Friday, well above normal, to just about normal on Saturday, to below normal on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Be prepared for chilly temperatures. Beautiful, I mean, lots of sunshine, but things are going to get cool as of course October begins to dwindle away, and we're closer to November now than we were to the beginning of October. Time flies, doesn't it? It's 8.5 minutes after the hour. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have the news for you. On this Wednesday morning, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 10 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Life Channel.
My first experience with CVCH, I had to come in with my daughter by myself with a cut in my hand that required stitches. And the care and compassion in CVCH was really significant, that they took the care and compassion and made me feel more as a human instead of just a patient there. The care they have for their community all around, inside and outside the clinic, is what I feel like is different. And that's what makes me want to come back to CVCH and recommend them to my friends and family.
Hi, my name is Jim Heinlein, independent agent and owner at Springwater Insurance Group, formerly known as Senior Insurance Services. And we recently decided to make that name change because we're offering so many different other types of insurances in addition to Medicare education and enrollment, like we've been doing for 15 years. So if you have questions about Medicare or any other forms of insurances, give us a call at Springwater Insurance Group, 888-2600, or visit us at any of our 5 locations.
10 minutes after the hour on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We have fair skies and 38 degrees. Lots of sunshine today. Going to warm up to about 60. We're in for a beautiful, beautiful late October day. Here's what's making headlines. Police are investigating a fatal head-on crash near Brewster as a case of vehicular homicide. Traffic was detoured around the scene. This happened about 9:30 in the morning yesterday on US 97, where it intersects with 17th Street. This is about 5 miles north. Brewster State Trooper John Bryant says the accident was caused by an impaired driver.
Two cars, head-on collision. A northbound lane was blocked. One individual was trapped in a vehicle that had rolled over, and aid got to the scene. One of the drivers did unfortunately expire at the scene.
That driver of the Honda CR-V that was struck by the suspect vehicle, a 59-year-old Manson woman, was declared dead at the scene. Her name is being withheld pending notification. Now, the driver of the suspect vehicle, 37-year-old Kai Michael Markelli of Brewster, and his passenger, 33-year-old Brian Wade Doherty of Okanagan, they were transported to Three Rivers Hospital. Markelli faces charges of vehicular homicide. Well, a Moses Lake woman is reported missing during a wilderness hike in Skagit County. Rachel Lakoduk, she is 28 years old and she has not been seen since Thursday. That's when she hiked towards the Hidden Lake Lookout in the North Cascades National Park, what was supposed to be a 7-mile overnight trip. Local search and rescue agencies located Lakoduk's car at the trailhead. They later reached her planned destination, which is the lookout cabin at about 7,000 feet, but she was not inside. More efforts, including helicopter searches, are planned as weather allows. Well, yesterday morning, the State Superintendent of Schools, Chris Reichdahl, was in Wenatchee. He was immersed in the dual language program at Lewis and Clark Elementary. In Wenatchee's dual language classrooms, half the day is taught in English and half the day is taught in Spanish. At Lewis and Clark, students who speak English at home and students who speak Spanish at home are in the same reading class. Reichdahl said Wenatchee is, quote, blazing the path that other districts around the state are trying to figure out, end quote. Reichdahl says his vision for Washington education is to have all students learning a second language beginning in kindergarten, if not actually earlier. Well, making Chelan County's electrical grid more resilient is to prevent future wildfires. Well, it does not mean planned rolling blackouts such as what California has been experiencing lately. Our very own senior news correspondent Steve Hare filed this report.
PUD officials say mitigating the impacts of brush fires and extreme weather here is an ongoing process.
Where we are right now at Chelan PUD with our fire response mitigation, we're not doing public safety power shutoff right now, and there's really no plan to do so. We've had some questions from customers on that. Currently, what we are doing, and this isn't everything, but we do have extensive models of all of our transmission lines to be designed in accordance with the National Electric Safety Code. This seems to make sense, and maybe is kind of a duh. They should be designed that way, but it took a lot of work to get all the models in place, all the LiDAR, the flights with the helicopters, et cetera, and that extensive modeling.
Transmission Engineering Manager Steve Wickel provided PUD commissioners this week with an update on projects in the works to harden the transmission system against fires and weather. The work involving replacing or rerouting some electric lines is included in the PUD's current work plan for 2020. The PUD has identified areas that are considered most at risk from wildfires, including the Chelan, Manson, and Wapato areas, as well as the lines extending from Chelan Falls to Union Valley. PUD staff will be doing community outreach with affected property owners to coordinate design specifics starting next month. Steve Hare, NCW Life News.
Thank you for that report, Steve. Wenatchee Valley College will break ground next Tuesday on its $37 million Wells Hall replacement building. The groundbreaking ceremony, again, next Tuesday, 5 o'clock. A reception is going to follow in the Music and Arts Center. Construction of the new 70,000 square foot building will begin next month. It's expected to be completed in the fall of 2021. Now, in addition to classrooms, the building will house the Chelan County Emergency Operations Center and a conference center available for public use. Demolition of the old Wells Hall will begin on Monday, November 4th. And finally, on this Wednesday, when polio swept through the Wenatchee Valley starting back in 1952, one Dryden woman was a fighter on the front lines. Our very own Caitlin Hittersheet and Jefferson Robbins visited with her and learned she's still active in the polio fight today.
Well, I'm being interviewed right now, and I'm kind of busy.
At 91 years old and despite a broken leg, Carmen Bostonbrock lives a productive life, overseeing her family's longtime pear orchard near Dryden and carrying on a battle she started more than 60 years ago.
I never counted. I never counted. I never checked in or out. I just worked. Sometimes I stayed overnight while pushing 2 treatment tables together. And it was a busy, busy time.
When patients stricken with polio began flooding into Wenatchee's old Deaconess Hospital in 1952, Carmen was the only thing standing between them and paralysis. For 2 years, in the thick of the epidemic, she was the only licensed physical therapist practicing anywhere in north central Washington.
My license number is 134. 134. And I'm sure it's over 12,000 now.
She worked as a physical therapist until 1992, but her experience in the 1952 outbreak and a subsequent epidemic in the early 1960s have stuck with her. She was one of the first women members of the Wenatchee Rotary and remains passionate about eradicating the disease.
Carmen might be with us for next decade, because I don't think she's planned to go anywhere until polio's eradicated. She sent me notes saying, we've got to get a lid on it, we've got to end it. She's been a great donor. She's always been on our polio committee and worked tirelessly on, now later in her life, on the fundraising in the back end.
Wenatchee Rotary Clubs will be out in front of KPQ Radio on Thursday for World Polio Day, collecting donations for international vaccine programs. Like her fellow Rotarians, Carmen Bossenbrock hopes you'll give what you can.
We don't ever want another epidemic. We have to keep up until it's completely eradicated in the world.
With Caitlin Heddersheet, I'm Jefferson Robbins, NCW Life.
That's a cool story indeed. We like cool stories. We like profiling people doing good stuff around here. We do it quite often, not only on this program, but on the news. And you can check out the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCW Life Evening News at 5. We play it again at 6, and we play it again at 10 for you night owls. And if you prefer to consume your news whenever you want to consume your news, it's available for you on demand. Right around 5 o'clock in the afternoon, we put a link on our website and on our Facebook page. And our Facebook page and our website are 2 tools you can use to get a hold of us. Yeah, look at the bottom of your screen. There's all kinds of different tools. So you can go to ncwlife.com, click on the Contact Us icon, fill out the form. You can submit news tips, too, if you want. You can email us directly, news@ncwlife.com. You can go to our Facebook page and drop us a line via the Facebook Messenger. We have a Twitter handle. We have a telephone. We have an address. It's 201 South Chelan. We'd love to hear from you, our viewers. This is as much your station as it is ours. It's 18 minutes after the hour. When we come back, sports, including highlights of an epic 5-set match between the Chiefs and the Panthers at the Wenatchee High School Gymnasium, plus all the results in Prep High School. And there's a new Seahawk going to be playing this weekend. We got that. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and we're broadcasting live this morning from Studio 9 in downtown Wenatchee on the NCW Live channel. Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Shop the Ashley Home Store grand opening sale this weekend. Shop the incredible savings you'll find store-wide. Sofas starting at $4.99. Get 50% off this hybrid queen mattress, now only $4.49, with free memory foam pillow. And save on reclining sofas starting at $5.99. Free giveaways every weekend. Enter to win your choice. Plus, no interest for up to 60 months. Celebrate the unbeatable savings at this grand opening sale. Hurry in now. Ashley Home Store. This is home. Next to Davis Furniture in downtown Wenatchee.
Twenty minutes after the hour on this Wednesday. Let's do sports. The 115th World Series is underway, and Juan Soto, the hero last night. He homered, drove in 3 runs at Washington. Upsets Houston in Game 1 at Minute Maid Park. The final was 5-4. The Astros took the lead early Yuri Gurriel had a 2-run double in the bottom of the first inning, but the Nationals came right back. A solo home run by Ryan Zimmerman in the second, and then Soto's solo shot in the fourth. That tied the game. Washington took the lead on Adam Eaton's RBI base hit and Soto's 2-run double in the fifth. That made it 5-2 Nationals. Houston's George Springer did what he could to single-handedly bring the Astros back. He had a solo home run in the seventh and an RBI double in the eighth. Washington's Joe Smith came on in the ninth, and down goes Houston, 1-2-3, and the Nationals win 5-4. Game 2 tonight, 5:07 on Fox. Steven Strasburg will toe the rubber for Washington. Houston will go with Justin Verlander. There's been another shakeup in the Big Nine girls soccer standings. Wenatchee upset last night by Moses Lake, the final 1-0 in Moses Lake. Eastmont, meanwhile, picked up a 6-0 win at Sunnyside. So Eastmont improves to 8-2 with the Wildcats back in first place in the Big Nine. Moses Lake is second at 7-2. Wenatchee drops to third, 7-3 on the year. In Caribou Trail League play, Chelan blanked Omak 1-0. Cascade cruised past Okanagan 5-1. Cashmere plays Chelan Tuesday. Then they host Cascade next Tuesday in a game for the league title. We're going to have that game live right here on the NCW Live channel with Sebastian Malaga and Matt Wisen from the Cashmere soccer field at 6:30. Looking forward to that. By the way, in the CWAC last night, Sela shut out Afraid at 2-0. Quincy got by Prosser 3-2. And in B-League play, it was Brewster over Bridgeport 5-1. To the Les Schwab prep scoreboard in soccer, in volleyball, I should say. It took 5 games, but Wenatchee secured at least the number 2 spot in the Big Nine with a 3-2 win over Moses Lake. The Chiefs came out firing on all cylinders, beat the Panthers 25-21 in Game 1. It was back and forth from there. Eric Granstrom had the call. Our cameras were there. Highlights.
Tessa White has brought Wenatchee back to within sniffing distance here, 24-21. She continues the service. Back line it goes to Hanneberg, to her sister. Now Shelton. Wenatchee with the counter. Nice idea up front. Now here's the kill attempt. Rios is there. Panthers, though, feel like they're out of it. Oh, it's going to go. Was it touched? It's out. And the point will go to Moses Lake. And the Chiefs win Game 1, 25-21. Again, Abby Black on the service. Cross court, she'll go, and that's an ace. And it will be a Wenatchee win here in Game 2. 25-13 is our final score. 9-7 our score. Service, Rios. Oh, beautiful serve again. Here's a cross-court set. Toth with the kill. Moses Lake with the counter. Hanneberg, flat-footed, got it across. White to Toth again. Back line is little Beryl Griffiths. Back line, it'll go to Rios. There's Black up front. Little touch at the net. Nobody got in the net. Chiefs got it across. On a volley back and forth, and now we're going to get a point to Moses Lake. 2 hits whistled against Wenatchee. My, oh my. Now it'll be Haas on the service for the game. Got it across. McMahon is there. Now Wenatchee is not going to be able to scramble after this one, and the Chiefs will win Game 3. For Hamilton continues on the serve here for Moses Lake, trying to stay alive in Game 4. Good serve again. Branham to Tom. The kill, the point. Wenatchee will force a 5th and deciding game here after taking this one 25-18. They get their setter up on the front line, and here comes another service from Redmond. Redmond back line to Hamilton, up front to Hanneberg. Here's to Shelton. Shelton with a swipe. McMahon is there. Up front to Branham. Here's the kill by Black. It got over the line. Black is there. Panthers scrambling. Here's the touch, and there's stuff. And how about Hanneberg? Serena Hanneberg at 5'6", got up high and was able to stuff it at the net for the point to Moses Lake. So here we go, possibly game point. Ireland Branham, the 5'7" sophomore on the service. Got it across. Rios is there to Hanneberg. The set for Karstetter. It's deep, and Wenatchee will win it. The Panthers are number 2 seed no matter what happens in the Big Nine District Tournament after the 3-2 win tonight over the Moses Lake Chiefs. And Moses Lake can never hang their head after this one, as they were for the battle here this evening. 15-12 the score in Game 5. Abby Black joins us now. Abby, what a game for you guys tonight. How do you put this one in words?
I think that we pushed hard together, and it was a little rough to begin with, but at the end we came together, so it was good.
You guys kind of got off to a little rocky start. What happened in that first game?
I think we just weren't clicking. We were all like scattered and kind of freaking out. They came out better than we thought, I guess, so it took a second to get situated in the role.
You guys have been on quite a roll, winning 5 games in a row coming into this one. You played Moses Lake earlier this season. Did you expect them to come out and fight this hard?
Not really, but I mean, I think they took a set last game, so we were expecting a fight, so it was fun. It was good.
Yeah, you know, Abby is really accelerating as an attacker right now, and we're happy about that. You know, she's in her rhythm, and the crazy thing about it is she's so fresh to volleyball still, so we know that her potential can really be maximized, and she's just continuing to blossom every day inside of the gym. But we love having her in rhythm, obviously.
It was a great match, I know. I was there, I saw it. Elsewhere to the Les Schwab Prep volleyball scoreboard. Eastmont victorious last night in Sunnyside. They beat the Grizzlies 25-17, 15-15. So for the Wildcats, they pretty much solidified third place in the Big Nine. That means a home district play-in game a week from Tuesday, probably against Davis. In Caribou Trail League play, Okanagan swept Cascade. Chelan cruised by Omak. Ellensburg remains unbeaten in CWAC play with a 3-game sweep of Ephrata. Sela kept pace. They improved to 7-0 in league play with a sweep of Quincy. And in the Bees, Tonasca took 3 games from Bridgeport. Well, they're trying to shore up their defensive backfield. And that is, well, it's given up some big plays this season the Seahawks have, so they traded. Safety Quandre Diggs is now a Seattle Seahawk. ESPN is reporting that Seattle received Diggs and a 2021 7th-round pick, while the Lions get Seattle's 2020 5th-round pick. Diggs was a Pro Bowl alternate last year after a 78-tackle, 3-interception season. He missed a game and part of another due to a hamstring injury, but he's been on the field for most of Detroit's games. This season, Diggs went to Instagram to thank Detroit and its fans and said, quote, "Seattle, let's get it. Ready to get to work and win more games. Too hyped," end quote. He also made a reference to Tyler Lockett and Ziggy Ansah saying, quote, "My brothers, here I come," end quote. And let's talk football. Wenatchee is ranked 19th. Eastmont is ranked 20th in this week's Max Preps high school football rankings. The Panthers improved, of course, to 6-1 last week with their victory over Davis. The Wildcats dropped their first game, a heartbreaker, down in Sunnyside, 29-28. The unranked Grizzlies going to be right here in the big city Friday night. We'll have the game live on the NCAA Live channel. This is going to be fun. Tune in with Grant Olson and Eric Granstrom for all the action. Pre-game 6:45 kickoff from Leiboftel to Field to the Apple Bowl. 7 o'clock is, by the way, homecoming week for the Panthers. So those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday at 28 minutes after the hour. The obscure holiday today is Ipod Day. The iPod. There you go. Say hello to the iPod. The iPod was rolled out on this date back in 2001, went on sale a few days later. Price tag, $400, well, $399 plus tax. And for the first time in history, it was possible to have any song you wanted pretty much at a touch of a button. It changed Apple's future almost as much as the computers did, and later on, of course, the smartphones. I mean, the history of your iPod, if you still have yours, is really a history of yourself. As you know, because of the massive capacity of the device, you could store all these songs on a little bitty thing and plug in the headphones, and you're good to go. I never did get an iPod. I didn't much care for them. I don't like the compressed sound of the music. I like my music full and rich with, well, I like it loud with speakers is how I like my music. Never did hop on the iPod revolution. Now it's kind of fallen completely out of favor, has it not? I mean, most people just use their smartphone to listen to music. Anyway, if you still have your iPod, good for you. Happy iPod Day today, because the internet told me today in history. Habeas corpus was suspended by Abe Lincoln on this date during the Civil War, October 23rd, 1861. 158 years ago, there's the proclamation. Yeah, for all military-related cases, habeas corpus didn't exist. Not surprisingly, his action was challenged in court almost immediately. It went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. Roger B. Taney, the Chief Justice of the United States, he said, "You cannot, Abe, sorry, you cannot suspend habeas corpus. It's unconstitutional. Only Congress can suspend habeas corpus." Lincoln ignored him. Said, I'm not going to pay any attention to it. He just dismissed the ruling. And that made a Baltimore newspaper editor by the name of Frank Key Howard very upset. Frank Key Howard wrote an editorial in this Baltimore newspaper that he owned, and he just admonished Abe Lincoln for doing this, and Abe Lincoln had Frank Key Howard arrested and thrown in jail. Abe was taking this stuff seriously. He says, it's a war. I got to do certain things. Habeas corpus suspended by Abraham Lincoln on this date back in 1861. I'm not going to explain what habeas corpus is. You'll have to look that up yourself, all right? Basically, it means due process. Happy 102nd anniversary to the October Revolution. Yep. On this date, October 23rd, 1917, Vladimir Lenin called for the October Revolution. This may develop into something. We'll keep a close eye on this. And finally, October 23rd, 1929, 90 years ago today, ooh boy, you got some stocks. They probably lost money or lost their value altogether. This has been going on for a while. It was a slow, steady decline in the stock market as some of the more astute investors began to slowly sell their stocks and convert it into cash. So it was a little bitty decline, and then it kind of, and then on October 23rd, it went, ooh, well, down it went. The stock market crashed big time, crashed again the next day, and the Great Depression was underway, October 23rd, 1929, 90 years ago. And finally, we got some celebrity birthdays. The king of late night, Johnny Carson, born in the state in 1925, grew up in Nebraska, became a virtual television legend, one of the half dozen most famous television personalities ever. Hosted The Tonight Show for 30 years. Retired, never really returned to TV, enjoyed his retirement. Johnny Carson, born in the state in 1925, passed away, it's hard to believe he's been gone for 14 years, passed away at the age of 79. Johnny Carson, the king of late night. He'll never be topped. And for a long time, this gentleman was probably the most famous athlete in the world. He and Muhammad Ali. I'm talking about Pele, the Brazilian footballer, widely regarded as the greatest soccer player of all time. In 1999, they voted on the All-Century team, and he was voted the Player of the Century. That's about as good as you can get. Pele, the great Brazilian footballer, is 79 years old today. One of those guys, just one name. That's all you need to know. That's called being a celebrity. The sun's just getting going. Sunrise is happening right now on a beautiful Wednesday. Gorgeous day today, gorgeous day. We're going to have lots of sunshine right into the weekend. Big change in the weather is going to happen on Friday. Very, very windy conditions. Cold front's going to come in. It's going to make things very chilly, but very sunny for the weekend. We're going to have lots of sun, but a bit windy and then real cool. By the time we get to the weekend, we'll take one more look at the forecast before we wrap up this show. Going to take a break. We got Mike McNally's opinion coming up, and then we continue our profiles of Making Difference Day projects coming up on Saturday. We went out to the Malaga Community Park a couple of days ago. Megan and I did, and we had a nice chance to talk with Vicki, Malloy, and Herb Gardner. And we took a little tour of the park, and they'll need your help on Saturday. That's coming up as well. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley Wednesday edition on the NCW Life Channel.
If you want to work in IT, here's a tip. Employers value IT certifications. 91% say they play a key role in hiring. 72% require them for certain job openings. Improve your odds of getting the job. Enroll in the Computer Networking Systems program at Charter College. In 14 months, you could earn an associate degree and 6 IT certifications. Get started at chartercollege.edu/IT, where we work to get you to work.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
The Cottage Inn has been a Wenatchee Valley landmark since 1940, making it one of the longest-running locally owned restaurants around. And it's better than ever. Steak, seafood, and their famous homemade desserts for dinner, wonderful lunch items, and breakfast on Sundays, all made from scratch and at an affordable price. It's no wonder the Cottage Inn has been so popular for over 75 years. Enjoy a fabulous meal today at the Cottage Inn on Easy Street in Old Station.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
My awesome is being part of the Nez Perce tribe. We have a tourism company, and we highlight the history and culture of the Nez Perce people. I found Washington Trust Bank because they were very involved in the community. They believed in me. They definitely saw the need for this in our region. All the folks at Washington Trust Bank are phenomenal. They've done such a wonderful job helping me along my journey.
What's your awesome? Whatever it is, we'll help you get there.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, you ever think about this? You have a girlfriend or a wife that sometimes you don't treat them very nice. You figure, hey, this is my private life. It's nobody's business if I'm a jerk now and then. Besides, you think the wife, the girlfriend, she's sometimes less than pleasant herself. So it's her fault if I get mad at her and call her names or something like that. Well, let me tell you. There's a good chance that someone's therapist knows all about you. I mean, you never know. If you ask any mental health professional, they'll be able to tell you that they have a client or two whose significant other has no idea they've sought therapy. I tell you, that's something that maybe you should think about. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snowblowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service, and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Push it, throw it, scrape it. Show the snow who's boss with versatile, durable, and maneuverable Bobcat compact equipment. Bobcat has the industry's largest selection of snow handling equipment and attachments. Cut through snow and ice fast, all from the comfort of a warm cab. Bobcat compact equipment, one tough animal.
Rose Tractor, quality brands you can trust year after year.
Welcome back to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're continuing our week-long series of Make a Difference Day projects. We are out here in the beautiful hamlet of Malaga at the almost kind of brand new Malaga Community Park. Vicki, introduce yourself to our television family, please.
Hi, my name is Vicki Malloy, and I'm the Vice Chair to the Malaga Community Council.
The Malaga Community Council is, what is the Malaga Community Council? Isn't it the Malaga Clockham Community Council or something like that?
It is. It is the Malaga Clockham Community Council, and this is the Malaga Community Park. Okay. So, right. And what the council does, unlike places like Wenatchee, Chelan, and so on, we're an unincorporated area. And so the council, under the supervision of the county, we make decisions for the community through the input of everybody, and we're trying to make this community a little bit better.
And the park is a great way to do that. This is a lovely piece of real estate. And I can see it's almost like a blank canvas. There's like so much potential here when you have something like this.
Absolutely. And this was originally designed to be a soccer field. And it's taken a lot of work. You know, Malaga is more than soil. We have rocks out here. And so we've spent years working at getting the rocks off the property so we can have a nice lawn for the kids to work on.
Tell me about the history of the Malaga Community Park. It's not that old.
Well, it's not that old, and we started working on this approximately 4 years ago. And in doing so, we partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of Snohomish County. And they plan to have a Boys and Girls Club here eventually. But in the meantime, we are working at having something for everybody to have now.
Yeah, so if you want to go out and play soccer or throw the Frisbee or have the dog chase the ball, you can do it here in Malaga. You don't have to go all the way into the big city to do it.
Absolutely. And you see a lot of people here. A lot of people come here to have lunch from employers around the area, and it seems to be serving a great purpose.
Where did the land come from? I'm guessing here it's about 4.5 acres. I'm just guessing here. Do you know where the land came from, Vicki?
Well, it was donated to us. Oh, it was not donated. Can you stop me, please?
Yeah, sure. Hold tight. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll edit that out. Okay, we'll pick it up from here. I was asking, so it's. I was asking you where the land came from. Yes. So where did the land come from, Vicki?
Well, the Malaga Community Council. This was purchased by Maxine Anderson, who owned all of this property at one time. So the property goes out to where the concrete building is, and then it goes up on the hillside up here. And back on the hillside, they do plan to build, the Boys and Girls Club will be building up there. There's a beautiful pond. We'll have hiking trails.
It's a big piece of property. It's not just the grassy area here. It's pretty sizable.
Yes, it is. It is.
So we're going to take a little mini tour, if you will. We're going to walk around, walk and talk, and we'll talk about some of the projects that will be going on out here at the Malaga Community Park. And it's not just for the Malaga residents. Anybody who loves Malaga, and I do because I play golf at Three Lakes, is invited to come out and give the folks at Malaga a hand and spruce this park up and get it ready to go. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to take a tour. Does that work for you, Vicki?
That sounds great. Thank you.
And we are back with the head cheese, the El Numero Uno, the current chairman of the Malaga Community Council. Herb, introduce yourself to our television family.
I'm Herb Gardner, the current chairman of the Malaga Community Council, and we're here to wander down our park as it sits at the moment.
All right, let's talk Make a Difference Day. Let's talk what you got on Saturday as Megan and I walk and talk, and I'll just turn the whole thing over to you, Herb. What do we got?
Well, if we were hoping to get some waterproofing on these tables, which the Windermere volunteer group came out and donated to us this spring. They did a waterproofing seal on it, and unfortunately the last week of rain has made it a little difficult to put any more waterproofing on it unless we have sun between now and Saturday.
Well, we should have some between now and Saturday. That's my understanding. So we're done with the rain after, it's Monday as we tape this, we're done with the rain after today. And then we have nothing but sunshine for the rest of the week.
Well, good.
And it's also going to be a little breezy, which will help dry it out, right?
Right. Yep, that'll help.
So weather permitting, you plan on doing this?
Weather permitting, we've got 4 brand new picnic tables here that we would like to get some more waterproofing on.
Do people need to bring their waterproofing, Herb?
We'll bring the stuff, brushes and paint. We just need bodies.
Okay, cool.
So that's a start.
Where to?
Okay, going along here, these trees that you see were also the tall ones were donated by the Windermere group.
They did that
and they
spring?
planted them in spring, okay. Yep. The others, we've got a few smaller trees that are donated by locals. Some of our local people donated those trees, and we're hoping that they'll all grow next year.
I think they'll do just fine. Looks like they've done right.
Yep, so a little weeding around those would help. Here we've got two of our problems. As you can see right here, as I step here, I go down, and I step here, I go up. So we've got some ground that needs to be leveled. We have piles of dirt across the way here, which weeds grew on this summer. And sometimes
this is kind of dangerous, actually.
Yeah, for the soccer field, that's why the soccer field begins a little further out. Number one, there are other ditches along the way.
So this is the actual line of the soccer
This is
field.
the line of the soccer field, which is
repainted.
It needs to be repainted this time.
Mhm.
We've got a couple of paint deals and paint cans. So again, a few bodies to make the trip, because this goes most of the way down to the other end of the field.
Yeah, this is a pretty sizable piece of property, as we mentioned with Vicki. It's not just this grassy area, but all of this is, and boy, what a beautiful site that is.
Well, we have 21 acres here total. This is about 2.5 acres. I figured that out when we needed 60,000 feet of
Seed,
thank you.
So this was planted.
This was
not
hydroseeded.
hydroseeded,
Yep. We
okay.
hydroseeded this in 2017.
Okay.
And before that, Alamendi Construction had leveled it off. Alamendi Construction did a lot of the work. Yeah, you can see the piles of rock up there. He actually took those piles of rock off of this property, took it up there, and then shook it out for topsoil. Came back and spread that topsoil across all of this.
They did a heck of a job. Who maintains this park during the regular
Well,
spring,
at
summer,
this
fall?
moment, there's 3 of us.
Okay, and you're in charge of doing that.
Yeah.
So,
I mow it, Vicki mows it, Helen mows it. Other than that, I come down and check sprinklers, and we are going to determine very shortly as just how long that's going to continue. But anyway, as you can see, there's spots where the sprinklers had a few problems. Didn't quite hit at times, so there's some places that are a little bit less grown. We've had, when the irrigation people came, which was after Alamindy had leveled it all off, the irrigation people came down and put in ditches, and unfortunately, the ground under here is not soft dirt.
yeah, and you can see where the ditches are. You
Yes.
can actually make them out. You can see this is an
Exactly.
irrigation line right here.
So we've got that problem that, again, the dipping. When the guys dug through the irrigation, I mean, the irrigation lines are only about 12 to 16 inches deep, but they found rocks like this. So when they dug those out, put the pipeline through, they didn't put the rock back, but we've still got some settling going on. So and then in terms of that, we've got sprinklers. Some of the sprinklers, as I mentioned back there, need to be raised.
Have they been blown out for the winter yet? Herb?
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm doing that after we're finished with Make a Difference Day. Just in case we needed water, which this year has not been a problem.
No, it has not. It's been a winter October.
So the winter, this is great. I mean, we've been able to turn our water off. Unfortunately, we use domestic water for irrigating here, which is not cheap.
No.
So most of the money that we spend comes from paying our water bill.
That's understandable when you got to water close to 3 acres of grass and you have to use municipal water. It will get pricey.
It gets pricey. So we've worked that. Then here on the edges, probably 2 combinations here. You can see that the hydroseeding probably was a little light here on this 4 corner. This is probably the last corner they did. And again, the sprinklers, if they're behind here, may not quite reach this far. This water, this wet fall has been good for the grass. That's really nice. So we've got, again, you can see here our lines for our soccer field.
So are you going to paint these? You're going to burn them in with gasoline? What's the plan?
When the folks came out from Windermere and did this for us, we actually came by shortly after that and put Roundup.
Okay.
Shh, don't tell anybody. We did Roundup along the deal, and then we came back and painted it. They painted it first, and about midsummer, we came in with the Roundup and took care of that.
Does it get a lot of usage in the spring and summer and fall?
I've seen people. I see people out. I haven't seen too many people actually playing soccer. We do have some soccer goals, but what I mostly see is just people down here enjoying it. We've got people that are probably down here 2 or 3 times a week with dogs, and they chase. They have the dogs chase things.
So it's a good thing you have a fence along the Malaga Alcoa Highway here.
It is.
That's really good. Are you going to be doing any work around the fence there, Herb?
Yes, we are.
Let's go ahead and pop on over there.
Okay. As you can see here, we've a place where we filled in. We brought dirt in, and we've had some people that have filled holes that are more gregarious than others. Still a little bit to do as we walk across this, or as we mow across this particularly. You can tell where the dips are.
Yep. Does it make it a challenge to mow?
Not really. We try to mow it high. We would like, the grass basically to seed itself so that we have a continuous more grass growing and all the time.
The grass over here, Herb, is much lusher and much more level and smooth. Looks like the grass on this side, when you get close to the highway, is in much better shape than on the other side.
Well, there's 2 reasons for that. The first reason is that when the guys came in and dug their ditches, this was dry.
Okay.
When they got to the other side, we were having rains again. In fact, up there where we first started, when the guy left, he was trying to level it off with his little bobcat, and he was actually making making trenches rather than otherwise. Along the fence, as we were saying here, what we are going to do, we've done a lot of work along the fence because, again, we've had mounds where there's dirt and rocks. So over the years, we've managed to get them out. What we need to do is, of course, rake all this stuff away from the fence, kind of pile up on the outside, so then we can come through and probably burn it.
Yeah, the rocks will do a real number on the blades of your lawnmower.
They do. We've had, I've replaced blades twice because of that.
Is it a big riding mower that you get to do? Is that,
Yeah, it's a riding mower. It's not all that big. It's big. It's basically a lawnmower.
And does it belong to the Malaga Community group? Okay.
We were talking about the pile of rocks up there a few minutes ago. We actually put a notice in the store that we would sell rocks. And we sold rocks at $100 a dump truck or $50 a pickup load. And we actually made enough in a year to buy the lawnmower.
Oh, good.
So that helped.
That's a good fiduciary work there.
Well, we don't have a lot of money, and we're trying to do the best we can with what we have.
Looks like you're doing fine to me.
So far, so good.
So this weekend here at the Malaga Community Park, for the folks who want to come out and give you a hand, what do they just need? A good pair of work gloves and a strong back and a good attitude? What do they need, Herb?
I would suggest rakes, possibly shovels, and maybe a wheelbarrow if you would like to take on trying to help level up one of these streams of not so level ground. We've got the dirt, we just don't have the bodies, so the shovel and a wheelbarrow. You can see here this particular place probably, well, maybe somebody's dug here, but anyway, this particular place either had a sprinkler that blew out and we dug it up and put a new sprinkler in, or the ground is settled again. Right. So this needs filling. Obviously, guy running across here in a soccer field is not going to be happy when his foot goes in there and catches the sprinkler.
That's a sprained ankle just waiting to happen.
It's also a broken sprinkler. So with that, like I said, like Vicki said, we've got about 14 acres or so on top of the hill here, which is, we discovered that it has a wetlands in it, which creates some problems. So the Boys and Girls Club currently are thinking about a building down here. We're not sure exactly how that's working. They have 6 years to come up with a plan and start construction. That's our current contract with them. And we're hoping that they'll do that because there's two good things about that kind of situation. They do after-school programs, which would be great for this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're right here along the highway where we probably have 5 or 6 buses of kids go by every morning, every afternoon. So if that should happen, that would be a great addition to the whole community, not just Malaga.
So go ahead.
We have an Eagle Scout program over here. We have a little library, one of those take one, leave one.
Leave one, yeah.
And that was done by an Eagle Scout about 3 years ago. So we've also thought about there's some other projects need to be done. So that would always be nice to have it.
So for folks who want to come out here and give you a hand on Saturday the 26th, you need a head count? Can you just show up? You want to
show up?
Just show up.
Show up. We have, we'll have a piece of paper here, sign in. We keep track of, we don't really keep track. We just want to know how many people come. And if there's anybody that wants to put a note or anything like that, we'll take that. So there's always things to do here. There's no question about that. So if you can come, great. Don't worry about calling up ahead of time, just show up.
Show up.
We're going to run from 9 till 12 or 2, depending on how long people want to stay.
What's your, one last question, Herb, before I cut you loose. I know you're busy. I see so much potential with this property. What's your, imagine this place, picture it in your mind like, say, a decade from now, 10 years from now. What would you like to see with all of this property? What's a nice Boys and Girls Club building? What else would you like to see in this beautiful spread of land that you have?
I'd like to see 2 more fields, soccer, baseball, whatever, type fields that work with it. I think if you put and I'd like to see playground equipment. I forgot to mention that. We have playground equipment, the community council bought actually almost 8 years ago. And because of the rock situation and not being able to move other things, we haven't ever gotten it up. So I see that. This stays as it is. It's a good soccer field. Above, as Vicki mentioned, nature trails if we can't do anything else up there because of the wetlands.
Right.
If we can, then probably a field up there, whether it's soccer or basketball field. That would be a good thing, too.
That would be a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we got to come out. And again, I want to thank Margie and Laurel who said, you know, let's give those folks out in Malaga a shout out for their really cool community park that they themselves have put in and taken care of. And I'm really glad that we did. I'm really glad that we did.
Glad you came.
Yeah. Herb, here's hoping you have a lot of people coming out here
Same
on
here.
Saturday. And again, as Herb mentioned, all you got to do is show up with work gloves isn't a bad idea. If you got rakes, that's great too. A wheelbarrow or two, because you got to get the dirt from point A to point B.
Right.
Outside of that, just a good attitude and a strong back. That's pretty much all you need.
Sounds good. Thank
Herb,
you, Dan.
it was nice meeting you.
Yeah, thanks,
It was nice
Dan.
meeting to Vicki, and Helen didn't want to be on camera.
Right.
What's it like working with Helen? I heard she can be difficult at times.
Well, at times. Fortunately, she's our comptroller, so you don't irritate her too much.
No, you got a point there. Herb, have a great Make a Difference day.
Thank you.
I appreciate the
it.
tour. You watch Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee believes a clean home is a happy home. Mary Maids provides holiday cleaning services to cheer about. Don't let the seasonal cleaning ruin the festive fun. Mary Maids can simplify your life at a great value. It's never too soon to start planning a holiday-perfect home. Mary Maids of Wenatchee happily offers a worry-free guarantee. Locally owned and operated, let Mary Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Call Mary Maids today.
Scare Crazy in Cashmere. It's a spooktacular good time all month long in Cashmere. Scarecrows will be waiting for you throughout the town. Silly ones, spooky ones, and everything in between. Yeah, it's Scare Crazy in Cashmere. Bring the family and find the scarecrows all around Cashmere. And be sure to thank these fine sponsors. Wheats Cafe in downtown Cashmere, open for breakfast and lunch daily. Liberty Orchards plan to bring the family to tour the Applets and Collets factory.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Hi, Justin here, owner of Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Club Crow is your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Looking for a fun night out? Join us at Club Crow Saturday nights. We have live bands to rock the night away. Club Crow is bringing comedy to Cashmere. Check out our Facebook page for upcoming dates. Live jam session first Sunday of every month. Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere, the coolest place in town.
And we are back on this Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's wrap up the program where we began the program with that all-important weather forecast. As far as sunshine is concerned, we're going to have a lot of it right through the forecast period. Mild, sunny today, high of about 60. That's above normal. 39 for the overnight low, a little on the chilly side. We do it again on Thursday with a high of 58. The high Friday of 64. That's going to just be wonderful. However, in the afternoon, we are going to have some wind, quite a bit of wind. It's going to start out with a light southwest wind, and then it's going to switch to northwest wind. It's going to get going about 21 to 26 miles an hour on Friday afternoon, with gusts as high as 41, 42, maybe even 43 mile an hour wind gusts on Friday afternoon. What's going on? Well, a strong frontal system packing some cold Arctic air rolls in. So we go to lots of sunshine and windy conditions, to lots of sunshine, no wind, but cool on Saturday, cooler still on Sunday, and right on into Monday and Tuesday. That cold air is going to be trapped down at the surface because a high-pressure ridge is going to build up behind the frontal system that's coming in. We'll have overnight lows right at the freezing mark the early part of next week, provided the show isn't canceled. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.